Okay, so where we want to do it full screen?
It could just be up in the corner.
Okay.
This is how we do it, like, before the show starts, ideally, if I'm doing my job properly. I'm out of practice.
Yeah, that's fair.
To be fair.
And we were coming right up against the wire, so yeah.
It's because I forgot that we moved CheckPoint back to 1.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been on it in so long.
Yeah, we moved it between the times that you were, yeah.
So doesn't matter what you're doing for
No.
this, eh? Wait.
Okay. This is great. Watch. You kill it. But here's my loot box. Bye. They actually this video didn't quite have the full animation because it's obscured by the gun.
Yeah.
But they actually they kneel down and they give you the loot box.
Yeah, they're pulling it out of their pocket.
Yeah, they go like, bye.
I'm glad we could be friends.
They should teleport out.
Yeah, they should just whoop, you know.
I still like the idea of doing Call of Duty like an airsoft thing where it's like, like you kill the Nazi and then he's like, oh, okay, I'm out, and just like
he pulls off his armband. He's just like, I
you
guess
hold
I'm
the
not doing
armband
it.
up in the air and then like cracks a monster energy and like wanders off the court, like through the, past the, past everyone else, being like, yeah, don't shoot, I'm out, I'm out.
Oh, Jesus,
These-
Klein, well, he needs a name.
Saying these folks look like some very peaceful folks, don't they?
I like the guy who looks like he's
The
gonna
drum mag on his peace gun there.
Yeah,
I like the guy who looks like he's gonna defend this country club.
yeah.
I say.
All right, so I have stopped local recording.
Does he have 2 belts? He looks like he's wearing 2 belts.
I need 2 belts to hold all of this ammunition. Pass me the MP5, Derek.
I clearly have a girlfriend named Muffy.
Yes.
Don't know why her parents named her that.
Barricade the door. No, not with the armoire. Are you mad?
Use the settee. Not the French settee, the Italian settee. We're getting rid of it in the next year anyway. It's got a scuff on the leather. I swear, Derek, I don't know why your father let you join.
Oh, God.
So yeah, bonus Graham today. Because it is kind of technically your lunch break in a way.
Technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still not done. It's getting ever closer. I'm deep in process on episode 11 of 12. Then there's the final revision pass for all 12 episodes. So don't hold your breath.
There's more VO to do. We're not even halfway through the VO yet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because we're on episode 5, aren't we?
No, we did.
Did we do 6?
We are halfway through the VO.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. But we have this week and next week is spotty childcare, and so Kathleen wasn't going to be in today, and I was like, well, I can do a checkpoint. It's only an hour.
Yeah.
So.
And some prep. But
Each day, Graham cuts the work left in half. Yes, the problem is
the chat monitor
that it's
it's like Xeno's Paradox.
Thank
for
you.
Quest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Xeno's arrow, is that what it is?
Xeno's Paradox.
It is Xeno's Paradox.
Yeah, yeah.
It's about an arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I've also seen it as as running in a stad. Like it's like you're running your 100 meters or whatever it was back then, and it's like as you get closer, you're halfway, and that's how they did it in the textbook as describing a Greek running race. But
That works too.
yeah, exactly. See, it launches and it needs about a minute to figure its shit out because it's a Raspberry Pi 3A.
I don't know what that means.
It has half the RAM of the one in the other room, so it's a little slower. Yeah, because it needs more space to. Oh, that's good.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I wonder what changed. The same visual comes up generally. So yeah.
Thank you, Robot Bones. I miss being on streams, but I'm making a real good thing.
Try this one more time.
Are you guys quoting something, or was that ad lib? That was all ad lib. That was just us doing country club voice.
Yeah.
I think that paradox was the arrow, but the race nature of Achilles and the tortoise bled over into the modern concepts of the halfway paradox. Was it Achilles versus the tortoise in your version? You must have had a different childhood than I did.
I feel bad for the tortoise being put, unless it's Achilles after he got his heel cut.
I was going to say, I assume the tortoise just nipped him in the heel, and then that's how he was able to win the race.
That is how the story went.
Yeah.
So that's how, yeah. Because
that's why the tortoise won.
yeah, why would anybody have ever thought to cut Achilles in the back of his leg for any reason? I don't know. But the tortoise would have thought of it because it's right there.
What I don't understand is you're going through all the trouble to dip this child.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not just like do a dip and then switch to the other foot?
Well, because then you get like the crud all over your hand, right? You got to hold him by the one point. It would have made more sense to like hang him on something and then dip him entirely, like lift the dip.
Get one of those like for doing like tempura, one of those big
Spider.
What? It's called a spider?
They're called spiders, apparently. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the sort of the wire scoop.
Yeah.
Basically, put the baby in that and just dip him totally in the
Yeah.
thing.
Let him
and-
float briefly, and
Yeah.
babies float.
Toss him a little bit.
Yeah.
Louis C.K. had a great bit about that. He was like, "Come on, like his mom literally made him entirely invulnerable,
Yeah.
except for his heel,
Yeah.
right?" And that's like everyone's like, "Why didn't she different way?" It's like, well, holy crap, she made him entirely
Really
invulnerable
invulnerable.
except for his heel.
Yeah.
You know, like that's pretty damn good.
What are the chances?
Well, it must be.
If they didn't wear so many sandals in those days, it probably would have been not as bad.
Yeah, he should have had like a reinforced boot or something
Yeah.
made. Yeah.
Like Spawn.
Yeah.
All the McFarlane characters with that one big foot.
Whoa, wait, no, I don't know about this.
You haven't seen that?
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
McFarlane does this thing in his character designs where like one foot has just like a abnormally large boot than the other one.
Oh, so Rob Liefeld can't draw feet. Todd McFarlane can only draw one large foot.
Draws too many feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much of a foot.
Too much of it. Here, let me see. Todd
I've never heard of this before.
McFarlane. Spawn characters. Sure, that will do that for an autocomplete. Why not?
I'd been just briefly given this
So,
sense of.
so here's an example.
I mean, they're big boots.
Yeah, but there. So like this Spawn just has one.
Oh yeah.
He's got one real big boot thing on the one end,
And then
a normal shoe on the other. It's a
it comes up.
yeah. It's a thing that I've noticed in like a bunch of McFarlane designs that like, yeah. See, that guy's got one big spiky foot.
Yeah.
This one's got one bigger spiky foot. I don't know if it's just Spawn. I've definitely seen it on a couple other McFarlane characters, but yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, there we go. Boot, peg leg. I guess maybe that counts. Yeah.
Because the peg leg's even smaller than a standard foot.
You've seen the video of McFarlane and Liefeld drawing a character while Stan Lee watches? Yeah, it's amazing.
Aha.
Let's just do that.
You bet. I don't know why that's doing that either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm due to do an update on there.
You
as
definitely
is.
owe it to yourself to watch Stan Lee just dunk on Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld to their faces.
It's like, I don't give a shit. I'm old. I've been doing this for years. Right, so our stories. I guess starting with the ones we actually did.
Hello. Sorry
There's Paul.
if I'm too loud or too quiet. Hi. I also like when they did the Spawn movie, there was a thing about like Violator doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like Violator can't exist in 3 dimensions the way he's drawn in the comics.
Oh, really?
He has like a normal, he's like a crocodilian upper jaw.
His lower jaw is actually a optical illusion that
Oh.
only works it can only be drawn from one angle. And so they had to change the character design.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, we got 22 minutes to knock it all down.
Yeah, we started a little late here. So let's. I mean, I feel like the Randy Pitchford story, we pretty heavily dealt with that.
Huh.
Just mostly a guy being. It's the old chestnut of people who really should know better, giving their hot takes on Twitter and just kind of digging themselves deeper and deeper.
Right.
I feel bad for everyone else who works there because it's like there's so much goodwill behind Borderlands and
Yeah.
all this hype and everything, and then just to be an employee at Gearbox who's worked so hard on Borderlands, and then watch your CEO get in a swearing pissing match with a video game website, just like, no, Randy, stop, please.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Yeah, there's stuff about like, there's stuff about like how he, he's been a rich guy for so long, which I didn't realize because Gearbox's like original thing was they did the port for the original Halo, and they got a chunk of the revenue from it, and so
That's what allowed them to start doing their own thing.
And that's part of the reason why they were so incredibly successful, or they started out on a really good deal.
There's a David Eddings also made reference in his tweets. He made reference to a currently ongoing lawsuit where another former Gearbox employee alleges that Pitchford arranged for a $12 million royalty bonus for him.
For that employee.
No.
Oh, for himself.
For Pitchford,
I see.
rather
Yeah,
than
there's
for the company, because like
there's
Gearbox
a whole
employees
thing with their like former lawyer is now suing them.
Yeah, Gearbox employees
yeah.
are eligible for like a chunk of royalty payments for the things, which is what David Eddings was like, okay, if you want me to come back, then pay me the royalties that I'm owed that I should have gotten that I didn't get because you fired me after I reported to HR that you assaulted me.
Right. Oh, and those are the royalties he's asking for. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
I see. I thought it was
Yeah.
like for like royalties on sales because I was in the game. But
By the way, I do love that. I do love this thing of like people who work for, like you work for a company in whatever position, and as a side note, end up doing like a voice or a character in a game.
Yeah.
And then you leave the company and go off and do other stuff, and now suddenly you're like a voice actor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, the most obvious example is the Rand brothers of Myst fame.
Oh.
Who are now, like, have been, very successfully paid
When Cyan...
to be the Cirrus and Akanar. Like they haven't been involved. They haven't been involved in the Myst games for many, many, many years.
I mean, they are again now, but for a while there, Cyan wasn't developing Myst, but they still had...
But they actually being hired actually as actors.
Ah.
Just because
Nice.
it's like nobody can say, I need the blue pages.
We
like
need you
you.
to play Atris. Can you? Yeah. So that was kind of funny.
Anyway.
But so that's a whole. That's a whole thing. I like Beej for the PUBG thing. I'm sorry, the Game for Peace story.
Yeah.
I like your suggestion that it should be GuffP.
Yeah.
FP.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I was stretching real hard.
I do legit want to,
I want to play this.
or just like have this like as a mode in normal PUBG.
Yeah.
Like rather than the people dying, they just
I want this as a mode in like any game.
wait.
Yeah.
It's just like the return to my home planet mode.
Yeah.
It's especially like in PUBG, there's you're sort of fighting other people who are basically like you, right? There's just like a bunch of people who all get thrown together. But in games where it is like like Wolfenstein or whatever, the idea is like you go in and like kill a Nazi, and then the Nazi is like, okay, that was a fun game. Bye.
I would love like a series of not because this will be the next thing is that a developer be like, what if we just made like a series of really funny ways for people to leave the like they just basically they take a hole out of their pocket, they drop it on the ground, they jump in the hole, and they disappear
Like cartoon
like a
thing.
cartoon thing. Like, so what if you just started doing that as a way for people to leave the field when they get shot? That would be really funny.
I'm surprised.
Fortnite Season 10.
Yeah. It's like I would not be surprised if Epic was currently working on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Epic,
Yeah. Speaking of Epic, all sorts of.
the Fortnite story was definitely like because Season 10 or Season 9 has started already too, and then of course it's like
And it's like there are various things to, that Fortnite is responsible for doing or not horrible, but possibly underhanded things.
yeah.
I don't think this can really be put at the feet
No.
feet of Fortnite.
No, because it could have been put at the feet of any company that makes a game. It just happens to be just the phenomenon that the kids are playing.
This is an ongoing thing that we've seen over the past several decades for us of games news where something bad is happening, and mainstream news media goes like, this is the problem of this video game. And
Yes, this is a new thing that no one has ever seen before.
Yeah. Or it's the problem of every video game, and it's like, no, it isn't.
Yeah.
It's societal, and there's a lot of, and in a lot
This
of,
is the newest vector.
yeah, and in a lot of ways, it's
like
a human problem.
And if Fortnite didn't exist, the bullying would be just something else.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. It's not to basically say that, oh, well, there's no, since it would just be anywhere, let's just give up.
Kids make fun of one another for lots of things, and classism is easy.
Yeah.
Because you can easily see. You can just see, that guy's wearing the orange tab Levi's.
Yeah.
Now,
He must be poor.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that with Fortnite, where kids are actually like, playing Fortnite like in class and having problems like that, that's a problem with Fortnite.
Yeah.
But again, not like people were doing things in class before Fortnite. They were, texting or playing Tamagotchis. Like we had
that's true, I
we
guess.
had to. I remember, I didn't have one, but I remember people having to leave their Tamagotchi in a basket at the front of the class so they wouldn't fuck around with it during math.
I imagine because the whole Pokemon thing.
I guess it's a matter of scale.
Yeah. The whole Pokemon thing, when that was a phenomenon as well, it's like, do you have the best deck? Do you have the right animals? Like, that kind of stuff. Or in card trading, it's like, I'm going to screw this kid out of his cards. There's all sorts of reasons for why these things are issues. The one that kind of killed me is that Fortnite's on mobile, which is like, then everybody can play it. So if you are playing Fortnite on mobile, you are harassed because of it as a child.
Right, because you're like, you're playing it, you're using like
Because you're
the
playing
crappy
baby
version.
mode?
Because you're not playing it on a console or on PC, which are more luxurious options because they prove that you have more money. It is coming down a lot to how much money you have. The kids are being convinced in the playground that skins give you abilities. They don't. They're cosmetic, but they are being convinced on the playground. They're trading it back and forth.
God,
It's like,
they totally would do
my
that, wouldn't
fucking
they?
uncle at Epic had said that if you wear this skin, it gives you this ability in the game.
It gives you like a 1% bonus in something, right?
Yeah.
There's no way you can tell.
Okay, we fell for that shit because we didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
They can go and corroborate this.
Yeah, there's actually there are influencers who are. There's all sorts of shit I read about, and it's a good article on Polygon. But there's influencers who are playing default to prove that this has nothing to do with my ability to play the game.
That's good.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Well,
Good.
I like the because
Whoops.
I think like that could be a cool thing if enough actually like successful
YouTube
Fortnite,
stars.
Fortnite people could get into the idea of like the kind of reverse thing where it's like the real cool people don't have to front.
Yeah, we can wear whatever we want. The funny thing about that is, same influencer who is doing that as a thing to show off is also same influencers who have deals with Fortnite that
Right.
if you can get the kids to buy skins using your code that supports your channel.
Right.
So that's
Well, that's a bold. That's to be fair, having that deal and still going, look, you don't need skins. That's kind of a bold move. I like.
absolutely is.
To be fair,
Yeah.
I did submit us to that program.
Yeah.
But we were rejected.
That's fine.
Because we don't actually play any
This-
Fortnite.
Well, it didn't have to be playing. It just
Yeah,
had
yeah.
to be. It had to be, at minimum, weekly content that involved Fortnite. And we were like, well, we have a game of news show. We report on Fortnite every week. And they
Sure
were
do.
like, this does not meet our criteria. We're like, oh.
That's a shame.
We
You
tried.
didn't say that.
Okay.
Oh, and real quick, the other story that we did do, which was the BlizzCon tickets, something we didn't get into in the story, is the privacy concerns.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
I talked about the permissions briefly, but really,
permissions,
it's like you should highlight the fact that there's huge privacy concerns because the app is not a Blizzard app; it's controlled by a secondary company or a third party. I guess is the way you should say that. And you're giving up a whole bunch of stuff to do this thing that you're required to do to go to the event. And
the now when you do stuff, especially on Android, when something requests permissions to do things, it does have to like pop up a dialog box.
Yeah.
But of course,
it asks for everything.
It asks for a bunch of stuff, and you go, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Terms
Rather
of
than
service,
saying,
whatever.
like, I know that on iOS, they changed it so that it's like when it needs the camera or the microphone, it asks for it. And it can even be temporary, is my understanding, but if it doesn't need it at that time. And what kills me about this is that when the communications manager has said, when you go to the event, you will, once upon entry, you'll be given a physical badge.
So you have to have it like installed and running, but it only will happen anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But the kind of permissions it has is like it can silently run on your
Yeah, just stay open.
stay open. It can change the settings on your phone, as in like turn on GPS if you have GPS turned off.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
Not good.
I thought this was kind of interesting. Bethesda released a Elder Scrolls D&D or an Elder Scrolls tabletop RPG adventure.
Yeah.
Like
they've had an Elder Scrolls tabletop adventure for a while.
Yeah, and they released this free promo thing,
supplement. Yeah.
a supplement called Elsewhere, which you may be familiar with if you're into the Elder Scrolls. And it was noted rather quickly that it is very heavily and ham-fistedly plagiarized from a actual D&D adventure released by WotC in 2016 called The Black Road.
Like not even an old one that's really recent.
Yeah, a recent one where they just sort of like altered some words and like changed all the proper nouns to be Elder Scrolls stuff. And Bethesda, for their part, has taken it down and said, they are investigating the source.
Yeah.
Which is probably means some contractor's going to get in a lot of shit.
It was Bethesda Netherlands that set this whole thing up, apparently, and I'm like, they have an office in the Netherlands? Okay, but apparently, yeah, somebody from there is gonna take a hit, definitely.
Yeah, I love the box text. My favorite part is the like, in the D&D one, there's like, what is it? There's a pair of tieflings who seem unaffected by the heat, eye approaching visitors warily. The dim interior of the tent is a relief from the bright light and wind, although it's hot in here as anywhere else, is the D&D version.
Yeah.
And then in the
Elsewhere one.
in the Elsewhere one, it says
His big tent.
the big tent is filled with several Khajiit who seem unaffected by the heat. They stare at you cautiously. The dim interior of the tent is a relief compared to... So it's just like find and replace Tiefling with Khajiit.
Yeah.
Tieflings being unaffected by the heat, I can understand. Khajiit are literally cat people.
Yeah. Khajiit have module if you have coin.
So anyway, and obviously, and this wasn't like licensed or something, because the person who called them out on it was the person who, one of the writers
was one of the authors
original.
of The Black Road.
Yeah.
So, not so good.
So, what else happened?
There's...
It's like 3 or 4 other stories.
Yeah. There's a John Wick video game coming out.
Which looks so cool.
Yeah, and which I love. What I love about it is it's not a first-person shooter,
Yeah.
like you might think a John Wick video game would be.
Yeah.
But no, it is actually a strategy game, because the idea being that like, basically how John Wick like operates and like sees the world.
Yeah.
is like in a turn-based strategy game, and like he's thinking so far ahead that he can basically just like plan everything out exactly.
And there's all sorts of like cool little things about it, but it's like what a neat idea to say. It's the movie's about shooting people, but actually, if you think about it, it's about really deep strategizing that just happens to work out all the time.
Like,
it reminded me of Katana Zero, which I played at PAX East, or My Friend Pedro, which I also played at PAX East, like side by side. And I was like, both of these games are about making determinations. Like My Friend Pedro's about using bullet time to slow down a side-scrolling shooting thing that you're doing to kind of look awesome. And then Katana Zero's about you play through a level to kill a bunch of guys, and if you screw up, it's like, it isn't how it happened, I'll do it again. It's like that kind of Prince of Persia feeling thing. And then when you get it right, it's like, that's what happened.
That's how it actually went, yeah.
And I'm like, that really felt like that could have been a John Wick type game too.
Apple has developed a video game for the first time in 10 years.
Since Texas Hold'em.
Since they released Texas Hold'em onto
Apple,
iOS.
not the most prolific video game developer.
No, you may have forgotten that they ever made Texas Hold'em, but now on iOS you can enjoy Warren Buffett's Paper Wizard.
Which I wanted to be something different.
That sounds like a game we came up with for like the most boring game.
It tasks players with flinging newspapers from Buffett's hometown of Omaha, Nebraska to the Apple HQ in Cupertino, California.
Now, when you say that, it sounds like it's like Nanika Crash, where he's in Omaha and he throws the fucking newspaper and it lands in Cupertino. But I don't think that's the case. I think it's like Paperboy. I hope it's like Paperboy. I didn't go look. I tried to go download the game, and guess what?
Oh, it's not available in Canada?
Not available in Canada.
Damn it.
Apparently,
we wouldn't know who Warren Buffett is.
Apparently, it was one of those things where it was like, I think it was like something to do with, I think it was at some sort of public thing where he and Tim Cook and Warren Buffett were, and the idea was to show how easy it is to develop a game for iOS.
We could just come up with this idea and then like work on some stuff and be like, yeah, we can make a game out of this.
At the start of the shareholder meeting, Cook made a cameo appearance in a humorous short film in which Buffett visits a top secret lab at Apple to try and come up with an idea for apps and other inventions, including a time machine where Buffett tells his childhood self to buy Apple stock. Cook ultimately suggests a newspaper-tossing iPhone game. Buffett was a childhood newspaper carrier for years and held newspaper tossing contests during the annual meeting, according to the Omaha World Herald. And then they made this game.
And it's made by a company that...
It's co-developed by Apple.
Yeah, it's
made by a company.
Involved.
It's not. It doesn't say like it's not on like it's not like made by Apple.
No.
But the company that made it is actually like just a company that
it's
Apple.
a game development studio.
Yeah.
Wildfire Studios or something like that. I think
There's this random footnote at the bottom of the story, by the way. That Cook also said Apple acquires a company every 2 to 3 weeks on average.
Yeah. The interview's a hell of a thing, apparently.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Warren Buffett is one of the richest people in the world, and kind of a cool guy.
Yeah.
From everything that I've read, like and rich in a way that like he's very rich and very successful, but appears to be in a way that's sort of
pretty down to earth,
pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
For one thing, he repeatedly said that maybe everybody shouldn't be buying all these bad home loan.
Yeah, the subprime mortgage things.
Subprime mortgage thing. He was
like,
very against that.
He's
like, I don't understand how these work.
Yeah,
we shouldn't buy them, and I'm the richest person in the world.
Yeah, the name of his company is Berkshire Hathaway, if you're looking for that, and they're kind of like a very reliable place to go invest because their whole thing is based on buy something that's going to have long-term return. Don't just short all your stuff and go nuts on the stock market.
He does he does also donate lots of money.
And he owns Dairy Queen, apparently.
Oh.
Yes. He likes to get a Blizzard every so often.
I was going to say, does that mean he gets free Blizzards?
He does, actually.
Worth it.
The store in his town, he gets, or wherever he like works in New York.
Everyone made a big deal about that photo of Bill Gates waiting in line at Dick's Drive-In up in like in Seattle.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like, well, yeah, you can be a billionaire and
still want
you just because you're a billionaire doesn't mean you can just apparate Dick's Drive-In.
Yeah.
And he lives nearby, so I was like, I'm just gonna walk over to Dick's and get some burgers.
Sure.
It's like you probably could.
It wouldn't taste the same.
Yeah.
And like he probably could like throw his money around and like go to the
Just
like
fly Wolfgang Puck in to make you some sort of
or if
handcrafted.
like if you wanted to do, you'd be like all the people in front of you in line being like, I will give you $100 if I can take your place in line.
Yeah.
Like you could probably like force your way forward.
Probably.
If you really wanted to. But what's the point?
Exactly.
And then we're almost out of time for the thing, and obviously this is something that is kind of a big deal.
But we're not going to be able to give this the depth it deserves.
But there is this thing where Riot had over 150 employees walk out of their stage a walkout earlier this week.
Brave.
Yeah. In protest over toxic work environment and forced binding arbitration.
Yeah.
Yeah. On workplace firings, that's generally what that's for. But.
And this is it was interesting for a bunch of different reasons, but one of them is that, this is, there's some, like a very long time ago, but this is in the modern day at least, this is one of the first real job actions done against a
game company.
A video game company.
Yeah.
Which, as we've all been talking about all this stuff to do with unions and things, this is definitely in the right area, moving towards that.
And Game Workers Unite was there, apparently. They were like, yeah, well, good, do your thing.
Rioters Unplugged is the group.
The top brass had said, if you want to do this, go ahead and do it, and management, don't interfere. Let them do what they need to do.
Yeah, although it is relevant that the stuff that they were walking out about was not actually like crunch stuff.
No.
This was a different thing, also terrible.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, we didn't go into it too. We didn't actually do a story about it because we couldn't really have. It wasn't that funny.
I was having a hard time making a gag about it. Yeah.
But part of the thing that I thought was sort of bizarre with it was this idea that the management has been relatively accommodating in the sense of them pledging to not retaliate against any of the people who did this walkout, and they gave them sort of time to do it and this kind of stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
Obviously, what would have been better is if they actually listened and did the things that the people walking out wanted them to do.
Yeah.
So they were sort of in favor of the doing everything they could to support the walkout, except for actually fixing anything.
Exactly. Which is
a
where
shame.
the bad optics are.
And obviously, rioters riot is a even though it was an extremely peaceful operation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a walkout. So yeah.
So anyway, it's a thing that and maybe we'll start seeing. This is a thing that we can maybe. And apparently, while the walkout was only for this one day and a certain amount of time, that's not like it didn't just sort of happen and everyone's going to go back to their own thing. It's part of an ongoing process at Riot, and they haven't said what it is because they don't want to sort of tip their hand about it. But the people who organize this particular walkout have further escalations that will take place if certain things aren't met. So we'll
Keep
see
an
what
eye on
happens.
that,
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Should we do subs?
And we'll
then?
also see whether, in the next 150 people are fired for unrelated reasons in the next 6 months or whatever, right?
Actually, in fact, I am going to disconnect myself because I have to prep for a call. So if you guys want to do subs, because I don't want to miss the call.
Right.
And I know you're going to be on this
I'm
too,
also
but,
on that
but
call.
I can set up for it. So,
Okay.
yeah, you guys can run subs.
Let's do that, and then it's magic time.
Yeah. Sorry about the microphone. All right, have fun.
Beej here. Sorry about the microphone.
All right, let's welcome people who have subscribed to this channel. Starting with...
Uh-oh.
Hey, not the Penguins. For 29 months, thank you very much. Also,
Hoktari for 35 months.
Ragnarok 2KX. That's really, really far in the future.
Yes.
When
in the
Ragnarok,
far off year of 2KX.
which is good.
It's not a very-
That's when you want Ragnarok to happen.
It's not a very interesting call. It's an admin call about merch and stuff. Blue Mechanic, 59-month resub. Welcome back.
Shimdog was taken. Oh, Shimdog was taken.
By who?
I don't know.
Can we get Shimdog back? Call John Wick. Bodie McBoatface Jr., 28-month resub. Welcome back.
Vire _ for 37 months.
Amoralingue, 15-month resub. Welcome back.
Foxmar 320 for that 65 months.
Yo.
Ooh, boy.
Wheelie, 26-month resub. Welcome back.
Emergent OS for 23 months. Thank you very much.
A Wells, 44, 37-month resub. Welcome back.
Aurelian 2773 for 29 months.
Drazen Spike, 18-month resub.
Dr. Guns for Hands for 32 months.
I just want to heal people. Lucino 451, 10-month resub. Welcome back.
Mr. Prototype for 30 months. The prototype
Please,
of all
Mr.
Misters.
Prototype is my father. Arconic Energy with a 32-month resub. Welcome back.
JC Maxwell for 10 months.
Midgard Serpent, 60-month resub.
Yaml for 13 months.
Edgar J, 22 months. Welcome back.
Rustin Skirk for 13 months.
Hagnal N. Dot, 14-month resub.
Riot Games, gifted by the Maricat. Good to see you here, Riot Games.
British Redcap with a 1 year. Welcome back.
JP's Mold Grutfutuk for 29 months.
Maricat also gifted a sub to Gearbox Official. Thanks for that, the Maricat. Welcome, Gearbox, I guess.
The other Trevor. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever Trevor you're thinking of.
No, this is
this
the other
is
one.
the other one.
This is the better Trevor. Oops.
Brozard.
Brozard. 5-month
Wait,
resub.
that was you. Sorry.
That's okay. Brozard, 5-month resub. Welcome back.
And thanks for the 750 bits from the Maricat, Master2505, Bandwidth Raptor, and This Cat Has Seen God.
Alrighty, don't go away because this stream's going to go offline and come right back on with LRRMTG with James and Adam for more War of the Spark.
Yes.
Oh, Paul's doing it. Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Oh, Paul's got to actually like take the
I have to
stream
go
down,
do it, yeah.
so he's going to go do that manually with his hands.
That's what the word means.
Yeah, and I'm just going to sit here and kill time until it happens. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Okay, bye.